welcome to Arcadia FYI. My name is Christine Zito. I am the host of this wonderful podcast, and thank you for making it happen. This show focuses on community here in the city of Arcadia. It features some really great interview, which we're going to hear a great interview today, and I hope it informs, enlightens, and entertains. And yes, it's going to, it's coming up, addressing some of the concerns here that we residents, because I live here in the city of Arcadia. I'm a resident of the city of Arcadia, and I have my opinions on the local issues here, and I want to talk about that. The housing, I want to hear about the homeless. What do you guys think about the ADU units that they approved to put in on properties? What do you think about that? See? I have my opinion on that too, and we'll get to those interviews. Those are coming up here really soon. And if you go to Facebook, I'll keep you up to date on all of that when that comes up. Just go to Facebook, search for Arcadia FYI, and join the group or join the page, and I will keep you informed when those come up. Furthermore, I will provide information about activities outside our community, because we're all part of the San Gabriel Valley, and we're all community. And I would like to say thank you to those who have already contacted me about some ideas that they want to hear. I thank you so much. I'm going to get in contact with you, and I'm going to see if we can make these interviews happen. And if you have anything that you would like to hear, just go to arcadiafyi.com, and it's right there on the homepage, or go to the contact page, fill out the form, and tell me what you want to hear. I will get in touch with you, and I'll see if we can get that interview or information or whatever it is that you want to hear on the air here at Arcadia FYI. All right, I want to thank our sponsors, like Longo Toyota in El Monte. You can see it right off the 10 freeway there. Star 7 Financial with Francine Chu here in Arcadia. The Santa Anita Park, and the Le Meridian Pasadena Arcadia Hotel. All right, for your information, it is summer. I just want to let you know. I didn't know if you didn't know or not. And today we're going to talk with someone very special. I love her. She is a great person. Okay, let me tell you just a little bit about her. She's smiling over here. If you're watching on the video, you can see her. She's an outpatient dietitian, diabetes instructor, a surgical weight loss coordinator at USC Arcadia Hospital. She also teaches at Pasadena College and Cal State Los Angeles. She is the author of Nutrition Intuition. I just love that title. Okay, it's a practical approach to health and well-being. And you can order that book. It's a textbook, and you can find it on Amazon. So please, let's just give a nice warm welcome to everybody. I can hear all the applause here in the city of Arcadia for Victoria Buxton-Pacheco.
Thank you, Christine. Yes, that was it.
I was practicing on your name all day.
Thank
all
you.
day. Okay, I got to ask you some fun questions.
Sure.
Here, so we can get to know who you are a little bit here. Okay, so where were you born and raised?
I was born and raised here in California. I'm a native, and I pretty much never left.
Well, where?
I was born in Sun Valley. So
okay.
I was born in Sun Valley, but primarily once I was born, my parents moved to Pasadena area. So I kind of grew up right around Pasadena area.
So you married, single, want to be married, want to be single?
Yeah, married. I just celebrated my 28th wedding anniversary.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Victoria. I think that is so cool.
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right. So, so you're a food person. How do you throw a party?
How do I throw a party? Wine.
Okay, I'm there.
Wine. Oh gosh, probably charcuterie, some Mediterranean type of foods going on. That's the way I would do it.
Okay.
I like the whole wine and food pairing. I'm learning more about that as I kind of get more experienced with drinking wine. I don't think I really need more experience per se, but I think as I look at more food and wine pairings, that's how I would throw a party. Yeah.
Okay. Well, now you have two last names here.
Yes.
Buxton and
Buxton-Pacheco.
Okay, Buxton.
Yeah.
And Pacheco.
Uh-huh.
Okay, Pacheco is Mexican.
Yes.
Right? Okay.
Yes.
What is Buxton?
Buxton is It's an English name.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Do you kind of cook to those ethnicities?
No, you know what? I tend to broaden my horizons when it comes to cooking. I really do enjoy cooking. I kind of, I've been in for a while. I've been into doing some French cooking on the easier side. I'm not too...
French cooking?
French cooking, yeah. So I really like French cooking. I like the dishes, but I also like the simplicity of some of the French dishes that I like to do at home. And
wow,
so
that's interesting.
I'm kind of a foodie when it comes to that, but I do enjoy cooking at home.
See, that's why she's a nutritionist. Yeah.
That's right.
So what has been your greatest kitchen mistake?
Oh my gosh. Let's see. Well, I can name one. I was boiling eggs of all things, and then also I'm hearing this like boom, boom. Yeah, I'm hearing this popping sound, and I go into the kitchen and my eggs are on the ceiling.
Oh, what?
And evidently I forgot. Yeah, don't ever boil eggs, and the water boils off. It's a big mess. Don't do it. So that's probably my most
wait.
mistake.
You're boiling eggs and you found them on the ceiling of your kitchen.
Well, yeah, because they explode. When the water comes out of the pan, they start exploding all over the place. So they were exploding. There was like some on the ceiling, some on the walls. So never again. Never do that.
I'll never do that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. With it being summer, first thing I want to ask you is being how did you become a dietitian?
Yeah, so I went to Cal State Los Angeles right out of high school. I was pretty new to college, and so I took a nutrition class. I kind of really didn't know what I was doing in terms of what I wanted to be when I grow up and things like that. So I kind of took a bunch of random things at Cal State. I didn't really have any direction per se. And I kind of fell into a nutrition class, and I was so captivated by the topic of nutrition and how nutrition impacts our health and wellness, and on every level, on every level. It's really such a big, if you take care of yourself and you really focus on that health and wellness, you can do so much with your well-being in the future. And so it's really just, that's how I got into nutrition. And the class was taught by a dietitian who became an amazing mentor of mine.
Now, but your title that I saw is you deal with diabetes. Is that kind of like a specialty?
Yeah, it is. So when I started, I've been at USC Arcadia, now formerly Methodist. I've been there now for about 20 years. So I started working in diabetes very early into my career there at the hospital. And so much of what I learned, I worked with a nurse who was very knowledgeable, and then it just sort of developed into my own over time. And so I still teach the diabetes classes there.
20 years.
20 years, yeah.
Wow. Okay, yeah. So Brian Green just walked in. He's the marketing. And that's why you hear the extra noise there. So now, what is a surgical weight loss coordinator?
Yeah. So one of the programs that we have at USC Arcadia is a surgical weight loss program. So what we do is people that, have potentially tried to lose weight on their own and they haven't been able to, they will seek a surgical intervention to lose weight. And so then what they do is they're going to come to us at the hospital, and then we work with several surgeons in the Arcadia area. And then basically my job as a dietitian is to help them prepare for the before and the after what comes with having surgical weight loss.
How long is that journey for someone?
Yeah, for
typically?
A lot of times it's about 6 months that the patient will have to go through a series of types of, like, they have to take nutrition classes, they have to do psych evals, they have to meet with their surgeon. So it takes about 6 months to prepare them. And, within that 6 months, they're trying to learn, or they should learn, lifestyle changes and how
are they changing their food, their diet?
Yeah, well, they should,
just like it does, like it shows on TV.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, I love those people that come to me and they're like, I want to lose weight like somebody on The Biggest Loser. I'm like, well, no, it's not going to happen like that. But
or my 1,000-pound life at that one doctor in Texas. Yeah,
exactly. So it's that. So surgical weight loss is an intervention to help mitigate obesity. So. Yeah, okay. It's a good program.
Do you do the surgeries?
Yeah, yeah, right. I know. Yeah, they wouldn't give me any of those instruments to work with. I've seen them. I get to watch the surgeries. That's fun.
Yeah, I can. My mom worked at USC, or she retired from USC 16 years, I think it is, and she used to come home with these stories from the emergency rooms, like, oh
my goodness, I bet.
Yeah. That's why I said, Mom, I'm gonna be an actress when I grow up. I'm not gonna be. With the summer here now, I think we forget, there's a lot of things that we forget to do when it's hot. What would be like the number one thing that you want someone to know when, now we're in the midst of summer, we're here in July, and what would be like the one thing that you would want them to be aware of?
Yeah, so I think it's all, obviously, I think it's an easy answer. Hydration is going to be key. I also think it matters in terms of what you're drinking. I think if you're drinking iced coffee all day, I mean, you're not going to get that, same thirst satiation as you would with just drinking water. Some people really don't like to drink just plain water. But I think there's several things you can do to stay hydrated in the summer.
What are some of the drinks, though? Okay, so here's the number one. How many, this is a 17 ounce. It says 16.9, but it's, okay, 17 ounce. How many of these 7 ounce bottles should I be drinking a day?
So, that's interesting because there used to be that drink those 8 cups or 8 ounces, but I really don't think that recommendation is it's I would call it outdated. So the amount of water
did you hear that?
drink,
it's outdated.
It's a little outdated. So the amount of fluids that you drink on a daily basis would really depend on how much are you spending outdoors versus indoors? What kind of activity are you doing? What's the temperature outside? I don't think we've really gotten into the high 90s just yet here locally. But at the same time, you want to stay hydrated. So I think it's really going to depend on the individual. It's also going to depend on your activity level, and it's going to depend on what you're doing that day. How much time are you spending outdoors? How much time are you going to spend indoors? And are you doing some sort of physical activity that you would need more hydration?
Okay, so let me ask you this then. So if I spend most of my time indoors, how much water should I be drinking?
It may go back to that, just drink, obviously drink enough water to stay hydrated. One thing that's so interesting about hydration, and maybe we don't think about it enough, is that we have it's called a lag time for thirst. So our thirst has a lag time. Now, for some people, they may ignore that thirst beyond the point of that lag time, and then we kind of get in trouble with those heat strokes and people getting dehydrated. So if you're just spending time indoors, I mean, you could kind of go back to the old 8 ounce cups of water a day. I really, again, think it's just something that you want to listen to your thirst. The whole thirst mechanism comes from the hypothalamus.
See, that's interesting. Okay, so you know me. I like to ride my bike. I go jogging.
Yeah.
I'm getting ready for a half marathon. I would love to do another triathlon. That used to be my thing, triathlons. So I'm always outdoors. So how much water should I drink?
So it depends on how much of those activities that you're doing in a day. You're going to need a lot more water than somebody that's going to be sitting in an office, right?
Right.
So you really have to listen to your body as well. And sometimes with that type of physical activity that you're doing, you need more than just water, right? You're going to need the electrolytes, because the electrolytes become an important part of your hydration. So those are the electrolytes that come from sodium, potassium, and phosphorus. And so just drinking water could potentially make you more thirsty if you don't replace the electrolytes.
It does.
Yes.
Okay, so we talked about water. You and I think it doesn't have to do with body
It does. Body composition.
Yeah, body composition.
It does.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you even look at male versus female, usually, I mean, you could compare it that way too, but it depends on, again, on what you're doing. It may not be so dependent on like your weight per se, but obviously if you're sweating more, you're going to need to replace those electrolytes.
That is so very true.
Yeah.
Well, that's really interesting when it comes I never thought of that, because you're so used to the internet, and everything on the internet is true, right?
Yeah. Always.
So, always. And so they always tell you need to be doing this or you're going to die. Mm-hmm. Okay. But now, when we talk about water electrolytes, let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. So when it comes to, people say, just don't drink just water. And for me, it's like, no, it's good when it's useful.
Yes.
But electrolytes, what do you suggest? Do you suggest the powder stuff that goes into the water, or buy those electrolytes waters that you can find in the store?
Sometimes the electrolytes itself, I mean, they can come from, there's so many companies now that are putting out these, electrolyte drinks. They can get quite expensive. I mean, honestly, you could make an easy electrolyte, solution at home. I don't know the exact components, but it is about the sodium. And because sodium is such an important electrolyte, it holds onto the water that is, it's going to attract water ions. And if your sodium levels become too low, you're just going to become more and more thirsty.
Do you like Gatorade?
I'm not a Gatorade person. Okay. I mean, I'm not, because in a Gatorade, there's almost as much sugar, if not the same amount of sugar in Gatorade as if I were to just drink a soda. But, so I really, I'm concerned about electrolytes with sugar when we don't need all that extra sugar in the drink.
Right. For me, I like Gatorade. I do go with the lower sugar. But I do like it because when I'm out there riding my bike.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'll ride from here in Arcadia all the way to the Rose Bowl and back.
Oh my gosh.
I love it. I love it. I love being on my bike. But anyway, when I'm riding and I'm going and I grab for my Gatorade, it's so good. Refreshing.
Yeah.
Because of the salt more than anything.
Yes.
Replacing that salt.
Right. That's so important. Because that's basically, you're going to sweat off the extra salt and you got to put it back.
This is so great. There's so many other things I want to talk to you about. But let's get to the food part of it.
Sure.
So you have your water. What is the worst food to eat on a hot day?
I don't know if there is one. I mean, I really don't. I don't like to teach or educate or talk about foods as good and bad.
Oh, okay.
I always think there's room for everything. But I think it's more obvious that you're in the summer temperatures, we tend to want to eat more, sometimes lighter. We want to eat more vegetables. I mean, we want to do those things anyways for our health. We want to eat those vegetables. And our fruits, they have a lot of water in them, so they can contribute to hydration for sure. So it just depends on, but if you're going for, lighter foods, I don't know, maybe you don't want to eat hot chili on a 100-degree day. Maybe that's something you don't want to do. But, it depends. To each his own, I wouldn't categorize foods as good and bad. I would just say, I think it all comes back to hydration, even outside of your food choices.
Heat, for me, it does not make me hungry.
No, yes.
Heat just like
zaps your appetite.
It does. So what do you do do I just force myself to eat? Or?
No, I really think, again, depending on your physical, I mean, if you're taking a bike ride that day, you're not going to go fasted. I would hope you don't anyways.
No.
So I think it's going to depend on the activity. If you're, whatever that, maybe you're just going to, and even the time of day that you exercise will sort of impact the hydration as well. But when it comes to you're not hungry, I get it. So maybe you might want to think about drinking a protein shake that's cold, that you can add fruit, you could add vegetables to it, and then that would still give you hydration, but still give you protein grams at the same time without having to sit down and eat a meal. But you want to have something, you want to eat something if you're going to go do that type of lengthy activity.
Okay, for the average person who's not as athletic as I am.
Yes.
When you talk about food plans during the summer,
Yeah.
what would be the most typical food plan that you would share with someone during summer versus winter?
Yeah.
Or is there a difference?
I think it's, again, going to depend on you and what you're doing that day. I think we tend to, I kind of like to talk about maybe seasonal eating when it comes to whatever's the most freshest out there. When you go to the markets, try to buy what's in season. You're going to save money that way. Versus when it's in fall or winter, you kind of tend to gravitate towards those fall foods anyways. I would say most people don't eat like hot soups in the summer. Maybe you want to do some gazpacho or something, cold soups. But I think it's when it comes to, like, if you're talking about meal planning, I would still put the emphasis, like, I personally, I don't like to eat in the morning, so I'm going to be the one to do the protein shake with some vegetables and fruit in it. And, I'm not one to eat if I'm not hungry, but I don't want to skip a meal either. So meal planning means, you're also not skipping the meals and you're not waiting too long, because what's going to happen if you wait too long in between meals?
You're going to starve?
Well, no, but if you're getting so hungry by the next meal, you're likely to overeat, and that's what we don't want to.
That's good.
Good.
That's very true.
You're going to overeat if you're waiting too long in between the meals.
And people think that you're losing weight, but you don't.
No, you're really kind of You're really teaching your brain to do something else when it comes to the lack of food.
So summer, I think, is the most type of season that is just so different from other seasons when it comes to appetite, when it comes to health. I mean, a lot of people are out a little bit more, but when the heat comes on, so the number one thing that we should be aware of is hydration. And the type of foods that we eat is basically up to what we're doing that day or what we feel that day.
Sure.
So I guess the question I'm asking when it comes to meal planning, in the plan, are you putting more fruits in your plan more than vegetables, or is there? Because summer is just the only reason I say that, because summer is during winter. It's for me personally, it's just easier to eat, to plan food. And you can almost eat it, but during the summer, it's like I go less on certain things and more on other things.
And that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. Sometimes I think in the summer we also don't want to turn on our ovens, and we don't want to cook a lot of things like that. So maybe we turn to convenience foods, which can sometimes get us into trouble. But if we did more salads with protein and we did fruits, you were mentioning eating fruit is going to be important, but it's still, we don't want to overdo it, right? There's always that too much of a good thing. We don't want to
eat carrots and you look orange after a while.
Exactly, you might. So I think it's a balance. I would say it's the balance of those fruits and vegetables throughout the day. And again, maybe you don't feel like cooking, and so you're going to gravitate more towards eating the salads. Or I think you're right. A lot of times in the summer, our appetites are maybe a little bit lighter.
Right. I just want to kind of inform people, for your information, on food that is better for you in the summer than it is for the winter, if there's such a thing. Is food better? What foods are better for you in the summer than it is for the winter? But I don't know if there is such a topic.
Not really. Not really. Again, I don't want to demonize any food.
I like that. So it's hard for me to navigate these questions. But I think for the family, I think it's just a matter of planning accordingly to the health of the person,
right,
and the health of their family,
right.
So let me ask you this: is watermelon too much water to eat all the time?
Well, watermelon is still a fruit. It still has sugar. I mean, you can overdo it, I think, as with any fruit.
Oh, you know what? With the sugar, let me ask you something about sugar. I've always wanted to ask somebody this. And you and I have had conversations because of the things that I go through. But like sugar, I've cut back on sugar.
Okay.
And what a difference in my life. I mean, I feel more energetic. So now I'm careful with like watermelon. It has its own natural sugar.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were to make like a watermelon drink,
Okay.
so and it tastes great.
Yeah.
And then I add the sugar, more sugar.
Yeah.
Now, wouldn't that be not a good thing to do? Yeah.
Right. So that's where we kind of lose the nutrient density of it, and we end up making it more calorie dense.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
it does. And I've learned a lot about carbs.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't eat a lot of carbs at night because I don't want it sitting in my
Uh-huh.
in my system overnight.
Uh-huh.
And then when, the only time I eat carbs at night is when I do a race or something the next day.
Makes sense.
Because then I get up and I burn that all off.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
So, okay, going back to sugar. I mean, we can go on and I can just talk to you about all this stuff and food and the things I've learned when it comes to food, especially during the summer. What other tips and safe things that people should be doing during the heat?
Yeah. I mean, I think we think about grilling outside. We could talk about grilling. We could talk about, if you're cooking more outdoors, there's ways to do that in a healthier way. I know sometimes as a dietitian, we talk about grilling things that are not overly burned because that can create a carcinogen, what we call a carcinogen. The burned meats and things like that that we often see. So that could be a whole nother topic.
I love grilling during the summer.
Yeah.
Better than heating up your house.
Yes. Yeah. And you can grill vegetables, you can grill protein, and you can grill. I'm going to grill some plums this weekend. You're
going to grill plums?
Yes, I'm going to grill a plum. I am. You just cut them, in half and get the little seed out, and you can grill plums. Put a little frozen yogurt over it. It's amazing.
My gosh.
Yes.
I've never even heard. What else? What other fruits can you grill?
Peaches.
Peaches?
You can grill peaches. Yes. Yeah,
wow,
you
I've
can
never
grill
heard.
those.
Have you heard of this, Brian? Have you grilled a peach?
No.
Yes. So good with a little bit of, I like it with frozen yogurt. You can do it with regular ice cream. It comes out really good. And they're pretty sturdy fruit, so they'll hold up to the grilling. It's not like you're going to they're not going to turn to mush.
Right. Because I like grilling vegetables like zucchini.
Yeah.
Let's see, that's one of my asparagus.
Yes,
that's like one of my
love
favorites.
grilled asparagus.
Wrapping it up in bacon.
Yes.
Oh my God. Is
Prosciutto.
bacon okay?
Well, bacon is.
I'm like, okay.
Bacon's one of those things that, it's all about the balance, right? So I don't think you have to do without it, but it's all about the balance. Prosciutto would be maybe a thinner, better choice.
Oh, okay. That is one of my favorite vegetables that I'm addicted to now is spaghetti squash.
Love that. Yes.
My gosh, it is so good.
I love spaghetti squash.
I mean, you can almost eat it by itself.
Yes.
And because usually I'm Italian, so I make it like spaghetti and put my spaghetti sauce on it and some meatballs once in a while.
Yes.
Or I put a bunch of vegetables on it like broccoli and
so good
cauliflower.
and low carb. It's such a great low carb option.
Okay, carbohydrates. What are good carbohydrates to eat before going to bed? Which would be, I guess I'm asking what they're lower carbs.
Yeah. So if you look at, it depends on what you're going back to what you're doing, but we don't want to go to, I always talk about carbs being, again, not to pick on one particular one, but I think the key with carbohydrates is fiber. If that has good fiber in it, and it's going to make it a better choice. How about we use that word instead? Okay. It's going to make it a better choice. So things like a sweet potato instead of a white potato. The spaghetti squash.
A white potato, talking about
just like plain white russet potatoes.
Oh, because I love the white sweet potatoes.
Yeah, well, those are sweet potatoes still have more fiber. Yeah, they have more fiber, and they're better. They're more nutrient dense per se.
Okay.
Even the purple yams. Have you seen those?
Oh, love it.
Yeah.
I got on this vegetable kick and learning learning vegetables.
Those are
I
good to grill too.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yes, grill those purple yams. Oh, so good.
Can you grill spaghetti squash?
I haven't tried that. That's a good question. I think
because you have to take
it takes a long time to bake
Maybe
it. I know
butternut
that.
squash. Yeah. See.
Oh, there
my
you
gosh,
go.
I'm
See,
gonna-
that goes into the fall stuff, right?
Yeah, right. It's
the
great.
butternut squash.
Yeah,
those
it's
go into
great for
fall.
the summer. Okay, so do you have any classes coming up there at USC?
Yeah, well, I teach the diabetes classes. They are free to our community, and so if you just go onto the USC website, they can you can just look up diabetes classes, and anybody is welcome to register for the classes. I do teach one in person, and then I teach another one that is virtual. So you can sign up for a virtual class.
Oh.
We meet on Microsoft Teams, and then we provide a link when you sign up on the website, and then you can just come on into the class.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And meet Victoria. You'll
And meet-
love her.
That's right.
And you can, I mean, there's so much more. We're running out of time, and there's so much more. You got to come back. We got to talk about more.
Oh, definitely.
And you got to bring recipes. That's what we're going to do
Oh,
next
that
time.
would be so
You're
fun.
going to bring recipes, and you're going to bring samples.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
you
do
can it.
cooking demos in the community, so that would be so fun.
Right here in our community at USC Arcadia Hospital. That's where Victoria is at. And even Brian. Brian is here. Brian, why don't you come over here to this microphone? I know you have to kind of, it's kind of you have to kind of move that up. Brian is, you have to kind of now he's bending down because, yeah, I know. This is for outside.
Is this right?
Yeah, that's good. Oh, there you are. So
I
Brian.
think you guys need a weekly show. You guys just
Wouldn't that be fun?
riff off each other, and it's interesting, and it's so funny. I've known Victoria now almost 10 years, but every time I talk to her, I learn something new about nutrition. You think you've talked to somebody and you learned all you can? No. We're learning about spaghetti squash.
That's right.
We're barbecuing.
We're grilling plums.
Yeah, plums and peaches.
That's
I'm going to
right.
go home and try that.
That's right.
Brian, what do you do at the?
I work in marketing at the hospital, trying to promote all the great programs and services that the hospital has, and so I'm very busy since there are so many great programs and
There's
services.
so many stuff. Yeah, and also too, Victoria will leave for me the information. I'll put it on ArcadiaFYI.com. Thank you so much for being here, Brian. Thank you for sneaking in here.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Christine.
All right. And if you have anything you want to hear, I want to hear about it. And you can do that by going to ArcadiaFYI.com, fill out the form, and I will get in touch with you and work on getting that show on Arcadia FYI. I would like to thank our sponsors, Longo Toyota and El Monte. You got to stop by. They're on this huge acreage. It's like a mall. You just got to check it out. Star 7 Financial with Francine Chu. I love you. The Santa Anita Park in Arcadia. Chelsea, you are wonderful. Pete's even going to be on. Pete Ciboreau is going to be on talking about the Olympics and other things that you probably don't even know that go on at the Santa Anita Park. It's really a lot of fun. And to Gabby and Blanca over at the Le Meridian Pasadena Arcadia Hotel. They're great people. I love that hotel. You got to go to the bar. You got to go to the restaurant. There's so many things that happen in Arcadia. Until next time on Arcadia FYI, be blessed and make it a great day. Make it a great week.